Hi everyone, I welcome you back to this channel, Technical Drawing Masterclass. Today we are going to still look at the construction of first angle orthographic projection right away from this isometric view or drawing. So let's get started. But remember, before we start, for first angle orthographic projection, always our plan is ever down, then the front up, then the end elevation, the side of the right side of the x-axis. So let's get started. First, I'm going to draw our plan right away here. So I'll measure off my 80 millimeters. Which is that. Then this dimension here is 20. It's the same as this. So I'll come back here in my drawing. Also measure off 20. Okay. So I'll use my small set square. At 20, I'll draw that line. Okay. Then also at 80, I'll also draw that line. So remember that we have this curve here. In my last video that I last made, remember I showed you how to come up with this curve using this method here. So this curve is offsetted 10 millimeters off this line and also 10 millimeters off this line. So I measure off 10 here and also 10 there. And I draw that line. Then I'll also draw that line. But remember, this curve here is a circle, an isometric circle. It is a semi-isometric curve. So, but now its height is 20. So right away from these lines that we have just drawn, I'll measure off 20. And I'll draw that line. Then I'll get the midpoint of this point and that point. So remember the distance here is 40 millimeters. So the midpoint will be here at 20. So I'll get my compass plus the pencil, put here. Perfect. Now I'll draw that semicircle. Then now I have this length as 60. So using my ruler, I'll put it against this bottom baseline. I mark off that point which is at 60, right away from that line there. Okay. Okay. When you're done, we're going to come to this square. Yeah, it is a square. So, but it is 10 millimeters off this line, and also it is 20 by 20 millimeters. So if this distance here is 40, that means even here it is 10 millimeters. And for sideways of this line, it is 20 millimeters. Okay. So right now, I'll mark off my 20. Then I'll also mark off this 20. This 20 is the first one that I've marked. Then I'm going to mark this one. Then I'll also mark off the other 20, which is not included. Okay. Okay. So remember that this square here, it is a hollow which goes through this isometric block. And remember, we are drawing the plan view. So when you're drawing the plan view, just imagine you're standing right above this isometric block. So you won't be able to see the front of this square. But when you're drawing it here in orthographic projection, we shall mark this square as I've done here, just to show that there is a hollow, a square hollow going through this block. So when you're done, we're going to make it thick. Then when I'm marking off this square, since when I'm up, I can't see it like the way it is when I look at it on its front view. I'll mark it by drawing dotted lines. Then I'll finish up with the curve. Okay. So when you're done, we are going to draw now the front view of this isometric block. Remember, for the front, we shall be standing at this point here. Just imagine you're standing here and you're looking at this block in this direction. Okay. So I'll try to elongate these lines. Okay. When you're done, we are going to find to get the what? The height of the block. So which is 60. I'll first mark off my 60. So when you're done, remember that this square here, it is 10 millimeters off this line, and also it is 20 by 20. Then this side it is 10 millimeters. So right now I'll first measure off my 40. I'll draw that line. Then remember that now we already have the 20, which is this, and also the 20, which is this, and also this other 20, which is there. So what I'm left with is to measure off the 10 millimeters such that we can get the exact position of this square. So I'll measure off 10. Then also I'll mark off that 20. So I'll draw those lines. So now we already have the square right here, and we already have this face and this. But now remember we have this curve here, so we shouldn't forget to indicate it. Okay. So I'm drawing thick lines to indicate how the front view will be looking like. So now since we have this curve here, right here I'll show dotted lines. Indicating that there is a hidden curve there. So here, okay, that's the square. Right. So now we are done with the plan. Now what we are left with is the end elevation. So for the end elevation, remember we're going to project it right here. So let me show you how we can get up there. So When you look at this set square, this surface is horizontal, this is at 90, and this edge here is at 45. I mean this. So what are we going to do? We are going to draw an angle 45 right here. Okay. I draw that line which is at 45. Then I'll start projecting these lines. To meet up this line that I've just drawn. Okay. When you're done, I'm going to show you how you can come up with the end elevation. And something to note here, for the end elevation, you stand right here and face this isometric block in this direction. So these are the parts we shall be seeing. We shall be seeing this face here. Then I think this is it. Then we shall also indicate the position of the square, but hidden. Then also the position of the curved circle or semicircle, but in the hidden face. So let's get started. So our end elevation, it is in L form. So when you're done with drawing the plan and the front view, the end elevation is something that is easy, whereby you just project it from these other two first views. So for the curve, we're going to indicate it here, but it's going to be dotted, indicating that it is hidden. Then I'll also do the same thing when it comes to this square. Okay, so we are soon coming to the end of this video. What we are remaining with is to put the dimensions. So this is 60. And also this is 20. So this is 80. So right here I have 10. Then here I have 40. This is 10. And this is 20. and this is also 20. Then also we shall name the what? We shall put the dimensions on our front. So this according to the isometric block. This is 60. Then this is 20. Then this is 40. Okay. This is also 20. This is 20. This is 10. And also this is 10. So then after you finishing with putting the dimensions, we are going to name these elevations. So between these lines that are drawn, that are parallel to each other, that's where you're going to indicate. So this is the plan. This is the front. and this is the end. Okay, so we have come to the end of this video. If you have found something important and it has added value to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for watching. We'll meet next time.